most terrifying moment of my life in the past year. I don't know how long ago it was that I last filmed my vlog, but we're gonna start again. The last time I was filming vlogs, it was more like a week in the life of, I guess it's called, where I was sharing kind of a week of my studies. And now I want these vlogs to be more like something I did this week style. So something I'm doing this week is, and I cannot even believe that I'm about to show you all of this, because I hope you don't lose all faith in me for the rest of eternity, but we all start somewhere. I'm gonna collect all the products that I've made that I still have, because some of them, believe me, some of them were actually really good and I used all of it. And then, so the ones that I kind of put aside were not necessarily my favorites, were not even successful to begin with, but I decided to save it anyways. And then there are a couple that I really actually like that I'm curious to see now. That, you know, it's just been so long. And for homemade beauty products that have not been properly stability tested and have not gone through microbial testing in a third-party lab, I always just am able to estimate my expiration date, which I always give my products 6 months. Just looking at the handful that I pulled from the cabinet behind me, I got stuff that was made in June of 2024. So that's almost 2 years ago. It way past what I ever thought. So let me collect the rest. So I have some products here on the desk, but then most of everything is here on the floor because I just can't fit it on my desk. So we'll be going over all of this. All right, so I collected it all and I don't even know where to start, to be honest. Well, let's start with the products that I remember making for my skincare final. Remember, 2 years ago, not properly stability tested. Look at that. This is what they mean when they say an emulsion breaks. You know, like consistency of cream, it's, you know, cream. This one has the oils and liquids floating apart from that creamy white portion of it. So that's what we mean when we say emulsion breaks. It's happened, sorry, that's not, so all the versions of it more or less, except looks like my final, yeah, it has not happened to the final. I believe that's the final. Anyways, so that's like a common issue when you DIY products at home, is that they don't hold their consistency. Emulsification is like an art form. It comes down to timing, temperatures. It's so much more than just mixing a couple of ingredients together, and that's why you see that happening. At one point, I was making a bunch of bar products because so I'm certified in organic skincare formulation and in organic hair care formulation. So my final for the hair care formulation certificate was a bar shampoo. I think it was called a Nourishing, hold up, Nourishing Shampoo Bar. Here's one version of it. And then I made a Nourishing Conditioner Bar to go along with it. I've actually used most of my samples. That bar was amazing. I'm hoping that one day that is something that I can actually release as a part of my future line. But so I don't have all the samples, but this is 2 years old, and this bar looks pretty good still. I'm not sure that I want to undo the packaging for all of these. Quite a lot of work and messy and potentially gross. So I don't know. But this conditioner bar, something's been going on because it's turned brown. So actually when I was making these conditioner bars, I had a huge problem with the bar was not even releasing any product on my hands. So this is probably one of those earlier ones. Yeah, I think I made 11 versions. This is version 6. So I think that this is one of those that they came out resembling like a candle. It was basically just wax. That's the best way I can describe it. If you took a candle and tried to rub it in your hands, what would you get out of it? Absolutely nothing. You'd have to melt it down for it to turn into liquid. Same thing. So I had to make multiple versions of that back in the day to get it just right. And with the final, I was happy with it, but I knew that it could be developed further. So I do want to do that at some point and make it a bit softer. But before I started working on my finals, we also made other kinds of shampoo bars just as part of like the hair care course. And so I have like a press that makes that design, but some of these look pretty good. I don't see anything wrong with some of these. I think this was actually a pretty nice one too. The coconut orange shower bar. Oh my god. I got one right here in a bag. I think I left it out to dry. Like this is the bag. God, it's like dusting something. Lemon rosemary shower bar. So it's a lemon rosemary shower bar. But it's been in this baggie. Oh yuck. Oh, you know what? It's the bag that's dusting, not the bar. It's definitely turned into a lemony color. I recall it wasn't like this when I made these. It was not dark like this. It smells like absolutely nothing right now. So it's lost everything. These were made in January of 2024. So they're obviously donezo, but yeah, it's just funny. I think that's oxidation. Why does it turn colors like that? If one of you knows, please share. I didn't expect any of these to be in good condition. Look at this shampoo bar. That's looking good. It's been 2 years. See? Told you. Oh, this one was funny. I don't know if you can see, but let me take this one out. Because it had coconut it had coconut milk powder. This actually smells decent. it had coconut milk powder, so one of my experiments was to put shaved coconut on top of it. So you can see the surface has like flakes. So it's actually from the shaved coconut. It doesn't smell spoiled. But this was made in March of 2024. There's so many more bars. I can't go over all of this, guys. Let me show you. This many bars, I think you guys will toes off before I go over all of them. But let me see if there's any really hideous looking ones. There's one conditioner bar that looks chunky and look at that. And then this one was a recipe by the school that used lavender flower, like fresh, or not fresh, dried lavender flower. Yuck. I'm just like so grossed out. I don't really want to touch these, you know? Ew. So this one, let me see if the camera will focus on it. It looks like a little moldy blue. I mean, the flowers are a little bit like bluish purple, but we're just gonna put that back in there. I'm gonna hold my breath. But yeah, no like major screw ups. Nothing like super gnarly. See, some of these I like used half of them. I really liked it. I was like, you gotta keep that. You can't throw it away. Maybe this is my final. Just like right before it was gone. Like I was using it in the shower, but right before it was gone, I was like, you know what? Dry it and save it. The white little flaky things you see are actually just the washing ingredient. I've taken a long break from formulating. I'm literally out of words, out of terminology. I have no shame in the fact though that like I am not, you know, all-knowing, because in me expecting perfection is only going to come with the price of me not filming anything. Even right now, I don't even know if I'm going to edit any of this. I just wanted to hang out with you guys and go through my stuff. So, all right, moving on from bar products. There's 3 more. There's a whole table full. Let me pick this stuff up. You won't believe. Oh my gosh, I can't even grab it. It's so much. Can you imagine? Let me tell you something. You will never believe this. It takes an hour and a half to make one of these products with a hand press. An hour and a half. You're going to, from the moment that you measure ingredients to when you go and you mix it up and then you press it and you finally like have it on a plate to dry. An hour and a half. 3 hours, 4.5 hours. move on. All right, next I want to go over something completely different. Lip products. At first glance, something stands out, and it's that tube because it's brown. Do we want to find out why it's brown? Okay. Hold your breath. It's called White Rose Lip Balm. Ugh. Okay, nothing too bad popped out. It's dried up. I'm not gonna apply it on me. This was made back in 2023. My guess is that there was a lot of moisture, that maybe it was a little bit on the wet side as a formula, and it wetted the tube. But like if you look at the tube, there's like black dots on it. Like it's molded. That's gross. Then we got lots of other lip balms. Oh, see, that one's like deep in the tube. I didn't fill it up all the way to the top. Best lip balm ever. I know this formula. This is actually a really good formula. And look how good it's kept. With lip balms, I really would have no excuse. If it turns out to, if it goes gross in my storage, that's just a me problem. Because even the clean beauty lip balms at the store, they don't have preservatives in them. And they might have been stability tested. I'm sure they were, but you know, as long as it, I mean, with lip balm, you see really quickly how it sets. If it's too hard, too soft, whatever, it's gonna reach its final form quickly. And then with stability testing, what they also do, they test with like really cold and then really hot, and then you like bounce it back and forth, and they keep looking at it, like is it staying the consistency that you wanted. Like personally, my lip balm, and I know that this one actually is like that. I love the fact that, you know, I live in San Diego. It gets really hot here. Not that I store stuff in my car, but if I'm just out and about and sun's blaring at me, and my purse and my lip balm sitting there, it definitely can melt down all the way, or not all the way, but a lot if it's a poor quality lip balm. So I know that this one doesn't melt too much. And then I've also tested it from the fridge and the freezer, and it's not too hard either when it's really cold. Let's see what else is here. We got mango lip balm. Here's another one that's kind of dark. See, no nasties. Interesting. I know I put collagen powder in this one. That was just an experiment. That one has definitely rotted through. But that's not like a normal... I don't even... I'd have to look at the formula to remember how exactly I made that. But most of these look fine. So lip balms don't usually have water in them, and that's why they don't need a preservative. But in order to do that, to add the collagen powder, I wonder if I've used a liquid of some kind. I should go and see what I did with this. Oh, that is nasty. Now look in there. Can you see all the way to the bottom of the tube? It's legit like black molded duds and stuff. This is like a biohazard. I need to get rid of it. I actually plan on getting rid of all of this. If anything, if I feel nostalgic about something, I'm gonna start taking photographs, and then I'll just have like a photo library of what happened down the road. But these have got to go. You think? Ugh. Next, we have quite a few cream cleanser type things. I think that's what these mostly are. Let's see. Let's see a few examples. The bubbles are just kind of like an amateur mistake, but these are still looking good for the most part. I don't really see any separation really. Peppermint gel cleanser. Still good and not even bubbly. I've done something right. Lemongrass body cleanser. I remember a lot of these. They felt nice, but they were really, really gentle. Like imagine a really, really gentle, non-stripping body cleanser. Majority of these were like that. These were, I think, school formulas that I whipped up, and then I remember thinking that I wanted it to wash more. Not that I want my soap to be, or my body wash to be super harsh and stripping, but I also want to feel like I washed myself versus like going into the shower room and feeling like I just put lotion on myself. Guys, I found something good. I tried to pull the lotions, body butters. Most of the body butters though do not have water in them. So they should technically look a lot like the lip balms. Let's see. This one was made in 2022. Oh. See? Kind of like the lip balms. No major effect. Actually, it smells good. Another one from 2022, Lavender Body Butter. I hate to disappoint you guys, but yeah, there's nothing. All right, I need to find something good, meaning something bad. Tropical whipped body butter. Now keep your fingers crossed. We got something good here. Ah. These actually look good, which is a good thing. It's starting to smell like an essential oil collection around me. All right, I am gonna open some of the scrubs. That does not smell good. It was very chunky, too chunky the day I made it. It was chunky looking like this the day I made it, actually. This is when I was starting to think like I gotta get some kind of grinder. Anti-aging soothing sugar lotion. Don't use. I kind of remember making this. This was another accident, I think. Okay, do we have something good here? Do we have something good? No. It was brown like this the day I made it, but not like dried up like a, you know, cracking dry. I kind of recall that I wrote don't use because I messed up the formula as I was making it and didn't realize it then. All right, we got one more category to go. I lied. I found a few more creams. Lavender Day Cream. I actually think this is one that I used. It's definitely dried up into the jar now. You're also looking at a jar that was not just made 2 years ago, but I also daily put my fingers into it, which means it got introduced to who knows what. Citrus Facial Cream. Oy, oy. Look, I can't even tilt it all the way because it's so liquidy. But look at the rim. That is gross. It's completely separated. I'm not sure if liquid was used, but this is like another biohazard. Rosy Cloud Night Cream. Just dried up. See, as I go through these, and I understand that some of you are probably interested in formulating stuff yourself. You know, we have doubts. I think most of us have doubts that we can't do this on our own, that we should leave it for proper laboratories and, university educated chemists to figure out. But the reality is that you can absolutely make stuff at home. And there's a lot of products that you can make that are not emulsions, which tend to do this falling apart stuff. So don't be intimidated, but there are some things that you would have to learn in order to succeed at it. And like I said, these are my study projects. So I was very much still learning about timing, temperature, you know, really making sure that your measurements are accurate. And so a lot goes into it. And as long as you know all those things and you're being safe about it and not perhaps giving them 2 years of expiration date, then, you know, especially if you're just using them yourself and you're able to keep an eye on the products, that, you know, you're not sensing any skin irritation or anything like that, then there's a lot that you can make at home. But obviously safety is key. So in order to achieve that, you have to start from the beginning. And I actually have a tutorial on my page for a lip balm that you could make, and is a very beginner friendly thing to make if you're interested in this. So don't be discouraged by what you see. And before I get too far into that topic, I wanted to show you some that are looking a little bit like they're on their last leg over here. At one point, we were making micellar waters, and I like these. I like toners, but I'm not very good at using them. I'm also not like the biggest skincare enthusiast either, which might come as a surprise to some of you, being that I do this, but my approach is more like wellness rather than vanity. Next thing we are looking at are makeup removers. So a lot of the makeup removers, even the one that I buy currently, I buy the one by Neutrogena, which I actually hear gives some really harsh reactions to some people, but it doesn't for me. That's the makeup remover that I use. But even that one is a two-phase, I think it's bi-phase product. which means I formulate separately the oil face, and then I formulate separately the water face, and then it's usually like a hydrosol mixture or something like that, and it gets mixed with the oil face by shaking it before use, and then it becomes a cohesive product like this. Most of these look fine. What does this say? Shake before use. Yeah, so these are shake before use products, like I said. This one looks gross. Tropical makeup remover. When was this made? Oh no. No one knows, which makes it even scarier. You know what has probably happened? That little sticker's fallen off. But 2023, 3 years old. This looks disgusting. Let me try to bring it closer. Can you see anything? Oh, yucky yuck. All right, what else? Then this is the last one. There's other ones, but I have bottled quite a few products in brown amber glass containers, so you can't see through them like this, which is actually better for the product because you don't want the sunlight. Kills a lot of the nutrients in these. So you don't want to have stuff in clear containers if possible. But for school purposes, I've enjoyed it because then I can see what I made. And I'm not planning on selling it like this. So you could, but if you have something like this, then you should store it in the darkest humanly place possible. And if you buy something like this, it should come with an outer packaging. And if you ever buy something that comes with an outer packaging, it usually has that on purpose. So you want to keep it. You don't want to take it and throw it in the trash. Keep your moisturizer, keep your toner, keep them in the outer packaging. So you get the shipping packaging if you order from the store or from the online, and then it comes in the outer packaging before you get to the product. So you want to keep the outer packaging. The outer packaging is there usually always on purpose. These are foam cleansers. They're not separated or nothing. That makes me happy. Cleansers are actually some of my favorite things to make now that I think about it. Even some of my recent ideas that I've had, you should make, are cleansers. I'm a big fan of just the basics. Like our skin needs to be washed, and it needs to be hydrated, and it needs to be exfoliated. Our hair needs to be washed, it needs to be conditioned, and it needs minimal styling products. And that is really personal to your hair and your hairstyles that you like to wear. I think the only products that I use on my face are like gentle wash, very little toner, eye makeup remover. Then I do a facial moisturizer and a serum or a face oil, kind of switching back and forth with whatever my skin feels like it needs. And then body lotion, just like the most basic crap. And then I use a lot of hand lotion, but I usually use like the intensive body lotion that I have. I usually use it on my hands as well. So not being fancy pants here at all. And then yeah. And then for my hair, I use a gentle cleanser and a conditioner. And then I just do dry shampoo. I don't use any other products. Would I like to use more products? I sometimes wish that I had a leave-in hair cream that was really light, that I felt would give my hair a little bit of a surface protection towards the heat tools that I use. That's probably it. Otherwise, I don't feel like there's a product type that's missing from my ritual. Exfoliation, I've been more of a fan of doing it physically with like a washcloth or something like that. But I do like exfoliating products, but a lot of the ones that are sold at the store gross me out because they leave the skin kind of greasy, and they're usually like heavily perfumed. To go and get like a truly clean beauty exfoliator, I also don't really see the point in putting money into that when I can do the same thing physically with a washcloth or something like that. And then it's also something that I would know how to make with just salt or sugar base formula myself. So I don't do enough exfoliating, but that is definitely a product that I would like to add. But yeah, I think just in general, I think we're just advised to use way too many products. Way too many. And then also when you have products that you need, the fact is a lot of those formulas are also okay to use in a wider range of use than they say. Let's say a body wash, if formulated properly, it could be also used on the face. I don't want to get too deep into this, but that's kind of like why there are brands that have a very minimal line of products. It's because they've figured that part out. Like, you don't need 8 products, you truly only need 4 of them, you need 4 of them, and all the 8 can actually be connected into the 4 if you wanted to. It's kind of like a little insider secret for you. But I think, yeah, because the rest of the stuff is in the dark containers, I think I'm done going through these. I didn't have any like really gross things. You know, I wish I could go back in time and show you what some of my stuff looked like before I went to this school, and some of the, you know, for example, I made a moisturizer with a water base, and it had no preservative in it. I also made, was it like a clay mask with a water base with no preservative in it. Sound good yet? Oh, you know what? No. For that one, I read somewhere, this was like before I went to school, before I ever went to school, that you needed a preservative in it, and I did purchase a functional preservative, but I had no idea how to use it. So even and clay is like one of the most complicated, it's the most challenging things to preserve. It's so full of life that the second you give it water, you have a party. Like you cannot. So anyways, like back in the day, I would go to my jar, I would open it up, and I would have a fuzzy blanket in there. Yeah. So luckily, I didn't see anything like that here. So maybe I've learned a few things and then I plan on learning some more. So don't judge because I'm gonna keep learning. And you want to subscribe and watch more of my videos because there's gonna be a lot more of this experimenting going on going forward. All right, thanks for watching, guys.